All right. So before we get to the primary debate in South Carolina, we saw an undercard debate first with Rick Santorum and Mike Huckabee and Carly Fiorina. And Carly Fiorina is getting a lot of attention today for an attack she made on Hillary Clinton. Let me play it.
I'm not a political insider. I haven't spent my lifetime running for office. The truth is, I've had and been blessed by a lot of opportunities to do a lot of things in my life. And unlike another woman in this race, I actually love spending time with my husband.
And Carly Fiorina joins me now from North Charleston, South Carolina. Great to see you today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about why you chose to put it in those terms about Hillary Clinton. Why do you think that's an effective political point to make with the people who will go to the polls for the primaries?
Hillary Clinton has spent her entire life in a quest for power. She has spent her entire life inside the system, saying whatever she needs to say, doing whatever she needs to do to gain power. And when she has been in power, she has used that power selling access and influence. The Clinton Global Initiative, for example, is sort of like this gigantic Ponzi scheme, selling access to the government, and Bill and Hillary Clinton are on top. That is why I made the opening statement that I made. Donald Trump is the other side of crony capitalism. He sits on the outside, and he rakes in billions buying people like Hillary Clinton. You see, I'm running because I think it's time to actually end crony capitalism. I'm running because I think our politics and our government don't work for us anymore. I'm running because I think we need to restore a citizen government. I'm running because I think it's time as citizens that we take our country back.
I have to say there was a huge outcry on social media when you said that about Hillary Clinton from women who take umbrage with the fact that you've hit home on a personal issue and you're making a judgment call about Hillary Clinton's personal relationship with her husband. How would you answer people who say that was a low blow?
Well, you know, I think when you are trying to lead, all aspects of your life are relevant. You see, because I don't think you can lead unless people trust you. And I think they won't trust you unless they know you. So I've been very open about all aspects of my life. The good, the bad, the tragic, the happy. And I think that one of the things that Hillary Clinton has a huge problem with is people don't trust her, because what she says doesn't always fit with what she does. And she seems to do and say whatever is necessary, when it's necessary, to gain the power she craves. And now she wants to be in the White House.
So do you. Does that mean that you're on a quest for... You want to be in the White House, too. Does that mean that you're on a quest for power?
That is right. Well, some people crave position for power. Some people know that leadership is an act of service. I am leading because I think a leader's highest calling is to unlock potential in others. I think my highest calling is to restore citizen government to this nation. And so, indeed, I actually think there needs to be less power wielded by the executive branch, less power wielded by government, less power wielded by politicians, and more power back in the hands of the citizens of this great nation where it belongs.
The fact that you're on this undercard debate again, you were on the main stage before, and you're polling now so low that Fox Business decided to put you on the lead-up debate. Is that an indication that your message is not finding a receptive audience?
Well, actually, the premise of your question is incorrect. I'm polling so low. In yet another poll that came out just today, I am 6th nationally. In yet another poll, I am tied with a couple of the guys on the main stage debate. It is also true that unlike a lot of guys on the main stage debate, we will be on the ballot on all 50 states. Unlike a lot of guys on the main stage debate, we have a robust ground game in the early states. Unlike a lot of guys on the main stage debate, we have leadership teams in place in 25 states. In other words, this is all sort of a game. And the Republican establishment wants to winnow the field as quickly as possible. The media wants a good show, but voters haven't voted yet.
So do you
Not
think
a single vote has been cast.
Rand Paul decided, he just opted out. He said, no, if you're going to put me back on that undercard debate, forget about it. I'm not going. I'm take my ball and go play somewhere else. Was that a mistake on his part? I mean, after all, you're on a national stage and you get a lot more Carly Fiorina time when there's only 2 other people on that stage with you.
Well, I can't comment for Rand Paul. I just will repeat, I will take advantage of every opportunity to speak to the American people. And millions of Americans are watching tonight. And so I'm very grateful for that opportunity to speak with them. Because I think whatever stage the establishment puts me on at whatever time, I know my message is resonating because I'm out there on the ground every single day and I see the packed crowds and I see the ground game, and I will remind you, not a single vote has been cast.
Hi, it's Steve Chigaris here at CBS. A quick question about the polls. You mentioned that you're in 6th place in one of these polls. A few months ago, you were at Donald Trump's heels in the polls. What happened? What do you think has happened over the last few months to cause this sort of drop in your numbers? Have you taken stock of that?
Well, we also know there's been a lot of data put out there to suggest that the number of media mentions you get every day has a direct correlation to your position in the polls. So, I started out 17 out of 16. Nobody had ever heard my name. No one asked my name. Everybody said this couldn't be done. And now I'm sitting 6th in the nation, tied for 5th in New Hampshire, with 3 governors, each of whom have spent tens of millions of dollars in New Hampshire, and I haven't yet put a single dollar on television. So I'm real happy with where I am in the polls, and I'll take advantage of every opportunity I have to talk to the American people, and I'm real happy with the game on the ground, and I'm looking forward to voting starting.
Ms. Fiorina, it's Nancy Cordes. Walk us through your strategy, looking ahead perhaps past Iowa, past New Hampshire. Which states do you think you can play strongest in? Where do you turn the corner?
Well, first, this is going to be a long game. And we've prepared for, planned for a long game. This is a process of elimination before it becomes a serious process of selection.
Do you have the money for that long game?
Have already been eliminated. Yes, we have the money for that long game. A couple candidates have already been eliminated. A couple more are going to be eliminated in the next several weeks or so. So the reason I say we have leadership teams in place in 25 states is because we're going to play the long game. The reason I say we will be on the ballot in 50 states is because we're going to play the long game. The reason I'm happy with the fact that we have over 500 community captains in New Hampshire, and that we're tied with people who have spent tens of millions of dollars up on the air when we haven't yet spent a dime, is because I understand that in a place like New Hampshire, 80% of New Hampshire voters haven't even made up their minds yet. So we can talk about polls all day long, but the truth is this race is wide open, and we have a really long way to go, and I will remain standing.
Ms. Fiorina, we began this conversation, you were talking about your love for your husband. I just wanted to ask you, with all of the time pressures, you said you're out on the campaign trail every day. How do you maintain a close relationship with your husband despite the pressure and the time and the demands that a presidential campaign puts on you?
Well, and by the way, he spends every day out on the campaign trail now, too, and he's frequently, most of the time right now, in a different state. So when I'm in Iowa and he's in New Hampshire, I'm leaving for New Hampshire tonight, he's staying over in South Carolina. We talk all the time, every day, and long into the night. We text. Yes, it's tough. It is tough. But we've been married for over 30 years. We've been together for 34 years. We have been through good times, and we have been through very, very bad times together. Cancer, burying our daughter, and the good times and the bad times have brought us very close together.
Carly Fiorina, thank you for spending some time with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.